By now, you've probably seen something about Washington's new income tax on millionaires. Maybe a headline, maybe one of those alarming YouTube videos making the rounds. And maybe you've been quietly wondering whether any of this actually affects you or your real estate plans. What I want to do today is cut through the noise and give you a straight read on what this bill actually says, and what it means and doesn't mean for the decisions you're facing. So let's start with the facts. Washington's legislature has passed SB 6346, commonly called the Millionaires Tax, and Governor Ferguson has publicly committed to signing it. The bill imposes a 9.9% tax on household income above $1 million a year. Everything below that threshold isn't touched. Fewer than 20 to 30,000 Washington households fall into that category. That's less than half of 1% of the state's population. The tax doesn't take effect until 2028, and first payments aren't due until 2029. That's nearly 2 full years from now. And here's the detail most headlines have completely missed. Proceeds from the sale of real estate are explicitly exempt from Washington taxable income under this bill. If you sell your home, your investment property, or any other real estate, those proceeds don't count toward the taxable income threshold. That's written directly into the law. Now, there are two concerns that keep coming up, and I want to address them both. The first one is, won't wealthy people just leave Washington? That's a fair concern, and there's some historical basis for it. When other states have raised taxes on high earners, some of those earners have moved. That conversation's already happening here. But Washington still offers real advantages. A strong employer base, no general income tax beyond this targeted measure, and deep community roots that don't pack up easily. And it's worth noting that the same legislature that passed this tax also rolled back Washington's estate tax rates the same day, which had reached the highest in the nation. A signal that Olympia isn't interested in pushing high earners out the door entirely. And here's something worth keeping in mind that most of the coverage has missed. When high earners do leave states like this, the real estate impact tends to show up in the places they move to, not in the markets they leave behind. For Clark and Cowlitz Counties, there's actually a case to be made that if any migration away from the Puget Sound region happens over time, some of those households might look to reduce their cost of living while staying in the Pacific Northwest, which could make our market a beneficiary rather than a casualty. The affected group is small, and their decisions are going to vary. For most people here, this is something to keep an eye on, not something to act on. The second concern is this a slippery slope toward taxing everyone? That concern's understandable. And it's honest to say, no one can promise what future legislatures will do. But here's what's worth knowing. Washington's Constitution creates real barriers to expansion. This bill had to be deliberately structured to work around constitutional constraints that have blocked an income tax in the state for nearly a century. Any future attempt to broaden it would run into the same wall. And on top of that, opponents are already organizing a citizen initiative that could put a repeal vote on the November 2026 ballot, with legal challenges expected in court as well. Whether this law actually takes effect as written is genuinely not a sure thing. So here's the bottom line. For the overwhelming majority of homeowners and buyers in Clark and Cowlitz counties, this bill doesn't change anything about your real estate plans right now. The threshold is high, home sale proceeds are exempt, and the effective date is nearly 2 years out. If you're in the small group of households this does affect, the right next call is consulting your CPA or financial advisor, not rushing a real estate decision based on today's headlines. When the noise gets loud, you deserve a calm, clear read on what the facts actually say. That's what I'm here for. Full details are in this week's Market Pulse Weekly blog. You'll find a link in the description below.